Hey folks, welcome back. I have your latest home prices and insights for the City of Toronto for week ending March the 9th, 2022. I received 2 phone calls last week from subscribers to this channel, so thank you for that. And these 2 calls, they were both sellers, and I know there's a lot of people out there that watch this channel that have the kind of similar ideas in their head. They're not sure how to do what they want to do in real estate. We have situations where people want to buy, but they're not sure, should they sell first? Should they buy first? We have calls where people can't just figure out how do they buy an investment property? How do they upsize? How do they downsize? They don't have a ton of liquid cash, but the house they're living in is worth $1 million or $2 million or $3 million, but it's all tied up in equity. So how do they do that? How do they buy something else? And then, if I sell first, what if I can't find something? Then I'm going to be homeless. And these are all valid things to be thinking about. But there is a solution. When you work with a real estate professional, as a consultant, our job is to find these solutions. And we've done this 1,000 times. So we know how to navigate and hit your goals. And first of all, assuming that what you want to accomplish is even doable. But we figure that out. We figure out should you sell first or should you buy first? And we put the whole plan together and the neighborhood you want to be in, and we give options. You want to buy an investment property, how to do that? What's the best way to organize that? How do you get equity out of the home you're in now to buy something else, to all these different things. As real estate consultant, that's our job, to figure it out. It could be a simple thing of people not sure how to get their house ready. Too many times I've had phone calls from people calling me saying, hey, I'm ready to sell now. And they've spent the previous few months getting their home ready, but they spent money on the wrong things. There's things that they did that is a waste of money, and there's other things that they didn't do that they should have done. It just would have been, I guess, a better idea to call a real estate consultant early up front that can figure out the process, explain it, and work together with you as a team to say, we got to do this, 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 and this, and that's how you are going to accomplish your goal. Too many people, I guess, think that realtors, they take a few photos, put the home on MLS, and then if you're buying, they drive you around to a few houses and ask you to buy one. And I'm not going to lie, there's probably realtors that do that. But that's not what I'm referring to when I say a real estate consultant. That's a professional person that understands how to navigate the system. That is a service to you. That's who you need to be working with. If you feel this information can help somebody please pass this video along. Let's get into the numbers. If you want to speak with us, anything to do with real estate, perhaps your real estate situation, it's really simple. In the description below this video, there's a link to my calendar. Click on that, book a time that's convenient for you. This way I'll know ahead of time and I'll make sure I'm organized so I'm able to talk to you about whatever's on your mind. There's been a lot of talk about the market shifting. I've been speaking quite a bit about it, and so have other people. And there is a bit of a shift going on right now. However, it's not the market is falling off the cliff. That's not at all what we're saying. And to give you an example, we just sold a property with an offer date. In 6 days of being on the market, we had almost 50 showings. We got 5 offers. We didn't need 10, 15, 20 offers. We got 5 offers, and we sold the property at a phenomenal price. Now, if you just do offer dates as before, well, the market dynamics have changed slightly. It could be a simple thing of there's 1 or 2 other properties on the market in the neighborhood that perhaps weren't on the market when offer dates were being done a month ago. Just that simple dynamics has changed the way that offer date needs to be managed, or the way that listing needs to be managed. And if you're not on top of that, it's going to mess things up and you're not going to get it right. And that's why we're seeing more and more properties not selling on offer night. But if it's done right, it'll work. Let's get into the numbers. That's why you're here, right? Okay, so I've got City of Toronto, detached properties broken down by week for a whole year. Sales went up over the previous week. Phenomenal. We sold 301 detached properties for the City of Toronto. 103 of those were at $2 million or more. That's a third. A third of all properties across Toronto sold at $2 million or more. Now, there's a few things in this whole report that sometimes don't make a lot of sense, and you kind of wonder, like, why is that number like that? So, if we see that we sold 103 properties at $2 million or more, which is way up from the previous week, you figured that average sold price would also go up, but it didn't. Average sold price came down. It's come down for a couple of weeks now. It's now below, it has been also for a couple of weeks, it's below $2 million. It's now sitting at $1,944,000, which is 14% higher than what it was last year at this time. And median price is 12% higher. Remember, this is just for detached properties only and just for the City of Toronto. There's no suburbs in these numbers. Well, when we look at when we look at sales, we sold very similar for this week to what we sold last year at this time. 89% sold at list price or more. So quite a few are still selling at list price or more. Way more. The majority by far are selling at list price or more. So offer dates are working, but they need to be managed. You don't want to be the 11% where you kind of mess things up and now you have to relist your property and make mistakes there. Last year at this time, 71% were selling at list price or more, and we were doing well last year. At 71%, we were going, holy smokes, look how well we're doing. Well, we're now sitting at 89%. As far as sales year to date goes, we are 8% lower than last year's pace as far as sales goes. Listings, we are 2.7% lower than what we're listing last year at this time. And listings for this week versus the previous week were way down. We dropped quite a bit from the previous week. We listed 407 detached properties last week. Now, you kind of wonder, well, why? Listings have been going up every week and now they drop. Well, I can't say 100% for sure, but I kind of have a feeling because we do see this often, and through conversations I'm having with my clients that are getting ready to put their properties on the market. The March break, there are quite a few people that don't want to be on the market over March break because they got kids coming home from school, they got plans, they got visitors. After March break is going to be really interesting, and we hope to see more properties coming onto the market. Well, for detached Toronto, months of inventory is sitting at 0.6, so it came down a little bit from the previous week. And we said that average sold price is dropping down. It's at $1,944,000, and it has come down. But when we break, that's all the City of Toronto. When we break it down over the three sections, well, for Central it came down, but for East and West, average sold price has actually come up a bit. When we look at West, average sold price is now $1,732,000, up from the previous week. Months of inventory sitting at 0.5, and 90% sold at list price or more. And average sold price is 21% higher than last year. Median price for the west part of Toronto is 22% higher than what it was a year ago. Central, we saw the biggest price drop. We're at $2,660,000, came down $100,000 from the previous week. Months of inventory is sitting at 1, but we sold 81% of the properties sold at list price or more. We're 8% higher over last year's average sold price, and median price is 17% higher. The East, where as far as Toronto goes, we have most of our action. Months of inventory is down. It's now sitting at 0.4. Average sold price went up to $1,585,000. 94% sold at list price or more. When you get into the 90s, it's just really hard to imagine that. But, you know, basically all of those properties sold at list price or more. Average sold price is 22% higher than last year, and median price is 21% higher than last year. Let's look at condos. We're on to semis here. Median months of inventory for semis is sitting at 0.4. It hasn't moved for a few weeks. 91% sold at list price or more, and we're 21% higher than last year's average sold price, and median price is 20% higher. And for townhouses, average sold price is up. We're sitting at $1,463,000 for the average townhouse. We only sold 31 freehold townhouses, but months of inventory is sitting at 0.4, and average sold price is 19% higher than what it was last year, and median price is 20% higher. Now let's get into condos. I'm getting it right this time. Sales dropped a little bit. We sold 448 condos last week. 63 of those were at $1 million or more. Average sold price has come down slightly from the previous week, now sitting at $811,000. So we're still over $800,000 for the average condo purchased in the city of Toronto, which is 15% higher than what it was last year at this time, and median price is 18% higher than what it was a year ago. Of the 448 that sold, 83% sold at list price or more. Last year, it was 60% selling at list price or more. And so, we're just a little bit over half, but now it's 83%. But here's a stat that it kind of is one of those that really doesn't make sense that much. So sales, we're behind 15% versus what we were selling year to date last year. So we're behind schedule based on what we sold last year. We're 15% lower. But we know the market is more intense with more properties selling at list price or more. Listings is actually up. You figured, well, there's more people looking to buy, there's more competition, sales should be higher. It's not. Well, you kind of figure, well, that's because we have less properties available for sale. It's not true. We're actually 1% higher when it comes to listings. So I have a hard time understanding why those numbers are doing that, but that's the reality. We listed 833 properties last week. Active listings is up to over 1,300 now. Months of inventory is a little bit higher because these extra listings coming onto the market. We're sitting at 0.7 months of inventory. And the summary for all the city of Toronto, one of them went up, condos went up, others went down, but it's still extremely low. It's still a seller's market. But like I said at the beginning of the video, there are some situations where things have changed in the neighborhood, and if you're not on top of that and you don't manage the listing properly, you're going to get stuck. You're going to be one of those listings that people talk about and say, that's been on the market for a while now. You don't want that to be you. If you have any questions, look, book an appointment in the description below. Have an awesome day. Bye-bye.